Babes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's just a confirmation that it was the order was sent.
Okay. We are having some food issues.
Yeah.
Yes. So I gotta tell you something.
What?
I think I'm in the minority on some stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things as I get older, I realize, or what I believe to be true is shifting to where I like to keep things very simple.
Uh-huh.
And that doesn't just mean like, you watch the Beverly Hillbillies all day and whatnot, but it means that like when you plan things out, go with the easy plan. And sometimes the easiest plan might be to say, well, let's plan on baking a cake this weekend instead of buying it because that's going to be complicated.
Uh-huh.
But we know the ingredients to bake a cake. Or let's plan out if we're going to have like a holiday meal, let's plan it out like a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we have everything. It's all good. All that stuff.
We usually do that.
Yeah. But and this year you're like, we're going to have so much food.
No, I never said that.
No. But I'm not talking about the main meal. Hold on. Let me finish. You said and then today we're trying to plan out like dinner tonight. You're like, we might have to go with a slice of pizza.
Well, I told you. Well, no. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you yesterday because I said, well, what if I'm not able to get an order tonight?
Yeah.
Why don't we think of a backup?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, we have enough. I mean, I know that we don't have a lot of pizza, or a dough to make pizza, but we have enough to make pizza.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we're going to be able to make the pasta. And then we also have to wait for, stuff for the green bean casserole because I don't have it yet. So I'm trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to make one of them? Are we going to make both of them? Are we going to not make one of them and make it next week? So I'm kind of planning this out in my head, and I'm also thinking, well, how could this be easy for the both of us too?
Yeah. So here's what I propose, because there's not much we can do about this weekend. But maybe we say if we're going to do the holidays next year, we actually plan it out and we actually make sure that we have the ingredients like a week or two ahead of time.
Yeah.
So there's no confusing statements where we get our messages confused and I say we don't have enough food to do this and you say we do, and it turns out, well, we might, but we don't really. And that way we don't have to get frustrated with each other, but we also don't have to spend so much time focusing on the project. So like as it stands right now, like I think last month I said, well, what if we just make a cake? And you said it would be a lot easier to order one. And then there's issues with that today. And we've decided that I'm going to put it on my Walmart order tomorrow.
Yes.
But then that could also be complicated because what if they're out?
Uh-huh.
So if we decide to make a cake, if we decide to get cake next year, we decided and we get the cake like a week ahead of time and we get all the stuff we're going to make like a week or two ahead of time. So there's none of this confusion. There's none of this, well, do we really have enough food for this weekend or do we not type of confusion, gray area. What do you think of that plan for next year?
That could work, but yeah, that could work. It depends on where we're both going to be next year too.
I know, but
yeah.
Let's cut the guessing games out about where we're going to be, and let's just assume that we're still going to be together next year. If this, meal madness doesn't end our relationship, but two,
I don't think it will.
Yeah, that we're both going to be in town, and
yeah.
And we can change this assumption later. But under this current assumption, we plan things out ahead of time, so we don't have any of this like last minute confusion, which makes both of us upset.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that, Jaylo?
That's good. But do you understand what was kind of going on in my head? Because my own wheels were turning in my head. I'm thinking, okay, so if we can't get anything tonight,
yeah, I understand. But do you also get where I'm coming from? To where?
Yeah. I get it, and I understand why you're going to put that on your order. And you said, well, we could also put stuff on. We could also put stuff on my order.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Here's a thought. Because there's also Thanksgiving next year. I submit to you this.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have this on record now,
mm-hmm.
Which is good. And this is one of the reasons I record stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is, let's say, November 1st of next year.
Uh-huh.
We have a discussion about Thanksgiving, Christmas / Kwanzaa, my birthday.
I don't celebrate Kwanzaa, but you know what I mean.
I don't celebrate Christmas or Kwanzaa, but you know what I mean. And New Year's, and we get our menu mapped out then. So that way we know not only the stuff to buy ahead of time, but the prep. So maybe we decide it would be easier to make a cake next year. As opposed to like white knuckling it to the last minute. Yeah. Or maybe we decide, well, instead of a cake, let's do, pot brownies or whatever the case may be. We're
not going to do pot brownies.
It doesn't look like it, but you know what I'm saying.
But we might, maybe we could do some cupcakes.
Yeah.
When I do something simple, we can do some chocolate cupcakes because we both like cupcakes.
Yeah, so November 1st or close to November 1st. So like if November 1st is like, I don't know, a Tuesday, I don't have a calendar in front of me, and we're both like super busy. But roughly, let's say the first week in November, we sit down and we plan out the big meals coming up. And we plan out when we're going to get the ingredients ahead of time and what we know. So the confusion is if not gone, then it's severely reduced.
Yeah, because I think it's pretty safe to say that the both of us are, we like things to be planned.
Yeah.
And in order. So we don't. So when we get there, because I'm the kind of person, I think I'm probably one of the few people that actually like things in order. Like we want to have planned meals and planned what are we going to do for the holidays and all that, instead of like doing it on the fly when everybody doesn't know what we're doing, and it's so confusing. So,
yeah, this is one of the reasons I don't like the holidays. But it's also, if we decide we're just going to be like chill about it, that's cool too. But we should both be on the same page, and we should both know how the other one feels. Like a lot of this frustration, and we don't have to like rehash everything, was because up until like a few days ago, I thought you wanted one thing, and it turns out that you weren't really feeling that vibe. So the November thing is just to like recalibrate and see where we both are, and then plan things out.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got a plan for next year. There.
And should I if it actually does work out where you actually wanted to come with me to see my family, then we don't have to worry about any food.
Yeah, but I won't be able to do that though, because your not to bash on them, they're lovely people.
You never even met them. You only.
I met your mom. I talked to one of your sisters.
Let me just say it this way, though. There might be a way to do it. I don't know. I mean, people, what do you call it? My relatives have brought their girlfriends and boyfriends, and they figured something out.
See, I say I'm going to be in my 40s in a couple of days. I'm going to be birthday boy. I say we just sleep in the same room. It's
not going to work.
I have relatives of mine who are super Republican, conservative Christians, love Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jesus. And they wouldn't bat an eye over two adults who are unmarried sleeping in the same room.
Well, they're dumb.
Okay. They love Marjorie Taylor Greene. What do you expect?
Well, no. I mean, not dumb. I'm sorry. Maybe that's not the right word. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that they would say that they were Christians and they would let that happen in their own house. But that's just me.
Oh, speaking of dumb, your man did something very stupid. Hold on. I'm going to pause this because I just realized something right now. Hold on. And then I'm going to pause it. We're going to come back and I'm going to tell you what it is. So hold on. And we'll be back soon. And we're back. So here.
What did you do?
I did this a couple of nights ago and the repercussions just became clear to me now.
Oh no.
No, it's embarrassing. It's more embarrassing than anything.
It's not like you can't do anything about it, right?
I just did something about it. That's why I left the room for a second.
Okay,
the situation has been resolved, but it's embarrassing, and it's going to be embarrassing to admit to, but I'm honest.
All right.
It's nothing as bad as some stuff you've done, but
what?
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me.
So, you're okay, babes.
Above.
Oftentimes, what I'll do is when I know I'm coming over here, I'll put, because I'm lazy sometimes, I'll select my pants and I'll put underwear in my pants already. And then I'll just put them in my backpack, right? Because that way, like, I don't have to think about it. And this time, because there's so much to bring, but I won't do that all the time. I'm kind of inconsistent about that. Mm-hmm. So the other day, getting ready to come over here, and I didn't even think about it. So I put extra underwear in my backpack.
Uh-huh.
And woke up this morning, take a shower, and because I had extra underwear, which I thought was this underwear in my backpack, I put underwear on top of my pants, take the shower, I know this is really captivating, maybe more than you wanted to know. Take the shower, put my pants on, and forget that I put underwear in them.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of slided down the leg, and as we're recording this, and I'm saying, relatives of Marjorie Taylor Greene, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I feel something weird. And I stick my hand in my pants leg on my left side, and I feel the underwear that was originally in there that must have slided down.
That's okay. At least you know it's there, and it's not like you're missing a lot of underwear.
Yeah. So that's what it was.
Uh-oh.
But so if my God-loving Republican relatives can deal with it, then. But you said that yours can't. So, but I'm saying
they're kind of they just will not have that when it comes to me, especially. Well, not just especially me, but it's just not. It just can't happen. I personally think that that if you were in the same house with me,
yes,
and you had another room, I think you would still be comfortable knowing that I was in the house, even if it was with people you didn't know, because at least you would know I was there. And, and my mom would be there.
Yeah, and that does sound a little bit weird to me.
Yeah.
But I could kind of deal with that as opposed to, Alana's relatives are leaving. I gotta find some place to stay. That seems like a lot of work just to come on, bro. We're all adults here, so I don't know. But we can talk about that next year.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I mean, I'd be willing to meet your relatives if they're a little bit less strict about that type of stuff. Or you know what you could do, babes? You know what you could do?
What?
You could stretch the truth and imply first of all, your mom's not going to be there next year.
I don't know if she will.
It's unlikely well, maybe she will.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That could change too, because she said she's leaving in February.
Back to the Philippines.
But I don't know. I mean, she knows that I'm going to be busy with classes, but I'm not sure. I mean, she said she's going to do that in February, so I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I was going to say.
That
is, neither one of us has plans to get married. And by the way, we're not getting married next year.
We're not going to get married as far as it stands right now.
Yeah, and if we did get married, it would be, I shouldn't say a declarative statement, we're not getting married next year, but if we do, it's going to be very quickly. It's going to be less planned than Christmas dinner this year. But that was meant as a joke. It didn't land, except in my own head. But you could imply to your relatives that maybe we eloped. And then we stay in the same room.
That actually has to happen before.
Oh, okay. I just don't get it, because I know so many conservative Christians who wouldn't bat an eye at that stuff.
Yeah, but they're weird like that, I don't even think that I would even consider them really conservative, because a lot of them, I know conservative Christians, and they're not at all like that. If it's and it doesn't even matter if it's whoever couple it is, if they're not married, then I mean, I'll say this.
Yeah.
My ex and I used to stay at in the same house as a pastor and his wife.
Yeah.
And we both had our own rooms, and that's our understanding was that was their rules, and that's something that we agreed on beforehand.
Wow. Was your ex like me in the sense that he complained about it like I did?
He wasn't a big lib.
He wasn't.
No, no, we were actually a lot more on the same page than we are.
Okay, so he wouldn't complain about this. It would just be
no, because we agreed with it, and I was okay with it because it didn't bother me. I was fine.
Wow.
But I also am not used to anybody sharing the same room with me, and I didn't even like it when I was younger.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you though.
Oh my goodness.
It's involved ex-boyfriends, obviously not mine, but
not you. Not you.
It's not negative towards them. Okay, so you told me the story about the pastor. You guys would go over to his house and you'd have separate rooms.
And then we would do that at other people's houses if we were staying with families.
Wow.
That's not unheard of.
Wow.
There are people that are a lot different than your relatives that
But
would understand.
But you know that I have friends who are very conservative Christian, and that's
they?
Yeah, and that's never been something that would even come up with.
Yeah,
them.
but they're weird like that. I'm sorry, they're weird.
My friends.
Yes, they are. You would even admit that you have weird friends.
Yes, but I would say I'm a weirdo too, so I don't mind weirdos. I attract weirdos.
I've met a lot of people that they would probably consider very different.
Wow. Wow, that's so strange to me.
That isn't that strange. Wow. It isn't that strange. You can find them all over the place.
That feels very like 1950s Iowa or
if you really want to keep people from having unplanned pregnancies, that's one of the ways to do it.
No, but you can just say, okay, we're sharing a room. We don't fool around this night, but we're just in the same bed together. By the way, I don't know. It just seems so crazy to me that you would have that to where you'd have to share separate bedrooms. But okay, let's get past that for a second, because we could spend all day on separate but equal rooms. But to me, I think that's the reason I am unlikely to go and meet your relatives next year. No, that doesn't mean that it's a deal killer. It just means that would be very, very, very strange for me.
Well, sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone,
Although
you know how some people say sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And experiencing things that are a little bit different for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be different for you.
If we do it.
Yes, it will. And I think you'll be okay.
Uh-oh.
I really think you'll be okay, because this is gonna teach you some discipline.
I gotta ask you I gotta ask you a question.
What?
One thing I dislike, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed not whenever, but when I've gone to big family gatherings on like Christmas, for example.
Right.
It's my birthday, but somebody else was born on that day too, who died a long time before I did. Name was Humphrey Bogart.
Go on.
Oh, okay. But there's they like to pray before their meals, and I don't know how it goes in super conservative Christian families. I mean, I know from my perspective, but we know that I'm super lib, so what I consider super conservative is apparently not what you think of it. So I'm assuming you guys pray, but is it just a prayer, or do you guys have to like talk about Jesus for a long amount of time?
No, somebody's chosen to pray, and a lot of times it's me, or it might be my mom. There are people in my family that don't know how to pray for some reason. I don't know how. I don't know why, but no, usually somebody does, and it's before like a big meal. If it isn't a very big meal, a lot of times the people that are praying will pray silently, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But if it's for like a big Christmas meal, they usually pick someone to do it.
So you've done it before. What's that like, conducting that whole thing? Is it fun? Is it work?
I don't always feel okay about it. In fact, sometimes I feel a little bit annoyed. I mean, I can do it, but I always feel like I'm one of the people that's chosen to do it. And it's like, why can't one of you do it one of these times? Why do I have to be the I mean, I've done it so many times, but it's like, you guys have to learn how to do this.
So here's something that could potentially be very, very, very embarrassing for you.
If they ask you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because they assume that I'm like this God-loving person and whatnot. What happens?
No, they wouldn't ask you to do it.
Okay.
They wouldn't ask you to do it because they don't know you.
Okay.
Why would they ask you to do that?
Because they assume because I'm with you.
I mean, my mom already knows the kind of person sort of you are.
Right, but your mom potentially might not be there next year. Because now I don't know that,
but why would they ask you? You're virtually a stranger to them.
Yeah, but they know. Okay, he dates Alana. He's probably a hardcore Christian.
But they don't know a lot. They never met a lot of my boyfriends.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I mean, and a lot of them said that they were Christians, but they weren't.
Oh.
So or that they acted. They said that they were, but they didn't act like them. So I mean, I haven't introduced a lot of my boyfriends to my family.
I don't know. I'm just saying I would assume that they would assume that I'm a Christian just because I'm dating you.
No,
Oh, good.
they wouldn't know that unless you told them further. Um, you know what I mean?
I hear you. Okay, so this is a dumb question, and I'm sure it has a really simple answer, but I'm dumb when it comes to some religious stuff. A lot of Christians like praying before the Christmas dinner, but one of the things I don't get is like I know a lot of these people who do it, and then they don't pray like for regular dinner, right?
They do. I know a lot of people that do
Oh,
before.
okay.
I know a lot of people that pray before every meal.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a given. A lot of people pray before every meal.
I know your mom does that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it isn't just dinners, lunch. I mean, I honestly think I don't pray enough to tell you the truth.
Uh-oh.
And some people pray before they get up or before they go to sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's not just the big Christmas dinner, the big Thanksgiving dinner. And the reason why I don't and I haven't prayed out loud is because I didn't know how to approach you about it.
Oh, no, you don't have to pray. I'm just saying, I was wondering why Christians pray at Christmas, but they don't pray at other meals. But you don't feel any pressure for me to pray.
Maybe I'll have you.
Oh, have me.
I'll
have me on the podcast?
No. Give me your noise.
Oh my god. No, what do you mean?
Yeah, noise. No, I mean, I'll do the praying out loud and you just pray with me.
I would be really bad at that. You don't want that.
Like I said, it's time to get out of your comfort zone sometimes.
But I also don't believe in Jesus. So in a sense I would be disrespecting him by praying as I guess Jesus is a guy.
Not necessarily. I mean, you could try it.
Oh.
It's not hard to do.
It's something to maybe consider in the new year. But that's interesting stuff there, babes.
No. I know a whole bunch of people that pray before their meals, and I think it's very important.
Okay, so you know how, and you don't like this about me.
Yeah.
Let's just say this is a quality that it does not endear me to my little Jaylo. But you know how I look at people who believe in the Bible and who pray and go to church is kind of weird. You knew that already.
I knew that before I went into this.
Okay, good. But my question to you is, when you do the prayers, or when you guys are praying at for Christmas or Thanksgiving at a relative's house, do you feel like they look at you like you're weird because you're going to church and you're doing all that stuff?
Or no, they just no. I think I've said this before on a podcast episode, but this is where I feel like I'm being kind of labeled in a way, like I am the good one. I've always, I'm the spiritual one. Nothing ever happens to me.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I told my sister this when I was having a very emotional conversation about something I won't talk about right now.
Okay.
That I kind of feel like there are people in my family that don't think that anything bad has really happened to me except for the cancer thing.
Yeah.
Like I never got into a bind or what have you. Like they're looking to me for what do you call it? They see me as somebody that's always been spiritual, but in a way it's kind of annoying because
sorry to interrupt you, but do they also kind of look at you like a Pollyanna, like because you're spiritual you always have a happy positive take on things as well?
I don't know if they look at me as a Pollyanna because Pollyanna went through a lot too. She got polio, I think it was. So it wasn't like she was always happy, but she got sick too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, I mean, she had a happy disposition, but she went through things too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the Pollyanna Miss Sunshine thing is not really real.
Okay.
But back to it. I don't know. I think they just think I'm like the sweet good one that doesn't get into trouble and doesn't want to get into trouble And that's what that is.
And since you're dating the good boy too, that must add to that in a lot of ways.
Well, they don't know anything about you except for my mom, and she doesn't know the half of your story.
Oh, so she doesn't know that I'm the never not good boy. Then.
Bubs.
What?
You're not always good boy.
I'm the never not good boy.
NAGB, not always good boy.
No, you mislabeled me. I'm the never not good boy. NNGB, never not good boy.
I will say this though.
What's up?
My ex, one of my exes was worse off than you were.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really good though. I'm good. I believe in things and disbelieve in other things.
I mean, I think I guess I could be fair and say that all of my exes had some weird stuff going on with them.
Yeah.
But I think there were some exes that were worse off than you, because I didn't find this out until later, but one of my exes went to prison at one time.
You know what? I've dated a lot of girls. Pretty much every girl I've dated.
Every girl?
I'm thinking about, and we're not talking about like a casual like hookup, but we're talking girls that I've dated who I've asked about. All of them have, maybe this says something about me. I'm pretty sure all of them have dated somebody in their past who went to prison. I dated one girl, babes, who was still like into her. We didn't date for very long, by the way. We only dated for a couple months, but I dated this one girl who was like still into a boyfriend she had who went to prison like 10 years earlier.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No. I didn't find this out about my ex who went to prison until after we broke up.
Oh, okay.
And that was freaky to me.
Yeah.
Because I remember a conversation we had, and I can't remember, he was saying something like, oh yeah, I met some murderers and rapists and everything. And I think he said something like, have you ever met anybody like that? I said, I hope I never do.
Oh.
And then I'm not going to talk about what happened afterwards. But
yeah.
But he was a crazy person.
That wasn't that pedophile who you almost took home to your family, right? The one from the... Remember there's some pedophile...
No. I never met this guy.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to know what I was doing for Christmas. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, well, I can't be around kids. And I'm like...
that's a red flag.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go see my family. And this was like, I was still... I was with somebody else, but, still.
Yeah, you were talking with him on the chat line.
Huh?
You were on a chat line talking to this dude back in the day.
But I had no desire to meet this guy.
Okay. I wasn't sure this was like...
No. I was still with the other guy, but I also never was interested in meeting that guy. Mm-mm.
That's a kind of crazy stuff there.
That is crazy. That is very crazy. And he was just assuming that I was going to be understanding. I'm like, how can I be understanding when I know that you hurt your niece? I mean, he basically admitted it to me.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, you need to go back to prison.
Yeah.
You need to go back to prison and stay there.
And we've had this argument, and I know I flip-flop on the death penalty like every hour. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be very inconsistent to some of the things I've said before. I personally think a rape should be a crime that you could get the death penalty for in this country.
And I say no.
Oh.
Now, if it was a bunch of rapes, a bunch of, like if he's like a level 4 sex offender, mm-hmm. right? Knowing that he can reoffend again, he either deserves life in prison or, I personally think that he needs to be in prison. I don't think he needs to die for it.
We were talking about Elizabeth Smart the other night.
Yeah.
Actually, last night. And I said that I heard that the people who kidnapped and raped her, like, got off with, like, a slap on the wrist.
I couldn't believe it.
We checked it out. That wasn't exactly true. But one of them, it was pretty lenient.
The guy got 2 life sentences. Thank goodness he won't be eligible for parole.
Yeah.
But this lady only got, like, I think she only served like half of her sentence, and she got like only 15 years. She should have gotten the same sentences.
What it was is she got sentenced to 15 years, and the judge said, since you've served 7 of these years waiting for this trial, we're going to count that as part of as time served, which is ridiculous to me. I think
it is ridiculous.
I think, and I told you what I would do in Rick's little twisted world if I controlled the world. And my punishment would be this. And listen, I'm a lib in a lot of ways. I'm a very lib. And Alana, will you agree to that?
Of course.
But there's
I have agreed to that, yes.
But in occasionally I will say something that is so over the top conservative that I think should be true that even Alana will be like, that's a step too far. So here's what my punishment would have been. So you know how we have Harvey Weinstein, and he's just been convicted,
total pervert, and he's convicted twice,
and he's been convicted of rape. Okay. Horrible human. He made some great movies, but not the best human being.
No.
Okay. And we have your other buddy Matt Lauer, who maybe
he's not my buddy.
Okay, maybe didn't rape anybody, but was very
he sexually harassed women.
Yeah,
openly.
Over the top.
Yeah,
over the top.
Over the top pervert.
Okay, here's what I would do. I would reopen the case of this lady who kidnapped Elizabeth Smart, and I would say, okay, solitary confinement. We're going to chain you to a wall, and we're going to give you a bucket. So you use the bathroom in that bucket. And then we go to somebody like Harvey Weinstein. We say, okay, you are in prison. You're never getting out. But we understand that you're a man and you still have certain urges. So, like, once a month, we'll give you a weekend pass to visit the lady who helped kidnap Elizabeth Smart. And you can have your way with her. We're going to look the other way because she looked the other way. But you're going to have to smell her bucket droppings while you're having sex with her. And Matt Lauer can come in too if he wants to. Just because he used to be on the Today Show. And he should be in prison, but he's not because he didn't break a law. But he ran up close to the line. And that would be her punishment for the rest of her life.
Oh. I still can't believe that Matt Lauer had a button.
Yeah, I know.
To press to close and lock the door.
That's like the craziest thing.
That is the creepiest thing I've heard in my life. So who knows how many women he had up there?
It's got to be a lot, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if he had something installed in his office for it.
It's like, well, yeah. Why would you do that? There's a lock on the door.
Okay, so here's the question I have about the Matt Lauer thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe this did happen. I just don't know. Presumably, other people at the Today Show staff would know about this. And I'm talking maybe some on-air talent, but maybe not. But definitely some producers of the show. Were any of them fired as well for looking the other way?
I hope they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope they were because apparently Matt Lauer's been doing this for a while. I mean, he sexually harassed Katie Couric.
Oh.
I mean, she came out and said it.
I heard that. It sounded more jokingly when she said it. No,
it sounded serious to me.
Okay, I heard a clip of that on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, it sounded serious to me.
Yeah.
And it's and I remember seeing a promo for Matt Lauer's show, I think it was, on NBC. Where in the World is Matt Lauer? I think it was.
Turns out he was in his office. All right, that joke did not land. Keep going.
But it seemed really creepy. It was a promo for the Today Show, I think it was. And it seemed really, really creepy.
And he was this beloved guy for a while.
He used to do a Where in the World is Matt Lauer segment. I didn't watch a lot of the Today Show, but I remember that one.
I watched it when I was maybe 5th or 6th grade. I think I stopped watching it around the time I went to middle school. And then I don't know what I was doing. I don't even know what I was doing in the mornings then. From like 7th grade until like mid-high school. I think I was just like getting ready for school. But I don't remember really watching it that much after like 96. So I watched when he was starting the show. And it was one of those things too. I was never like a diehard fan. It would be on in the morning.
I watched more Good Morning America than anything. Because it was on... when I was growing up in Hawaii, it was on from I think it was like 6 to 8 or something.
Something like
that. In
the
morning.
Yeah.
Good Morning America would be on from 7 to 9 in the morning in the Northwest. So so I was watching Good Morning America mostly, but not really a lot of the Today Show. But I do remember Where in the World is Matt Lauer? And I think that would come on. I think that was getting really popular like in the 90s.
I remember seeing promos for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one promo I saw for the Today Show with Matt Lauer in it, and I forgot what it was titled. It was really creepy.
Oh.
And I think this is before the sexual harassment allegations.
I went back to watching the Today Show. You're going to love this. When Megan Kelly came aboard. And it was only because she would oftentimes have these like really hateful rants. And then at the end of it, you'd see a clip from Al Roker saying, hey, thanks for watching the Today Show. You know, please like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And
that was on YouTube though?
Yeah. So for their YouTube channel,
I wonder if they edited that
they'd put a little promo at the end of each clip, I guess. I pretty much just watch the Megan Kelly stuff. And as you know, I'm not a Megan Kelly fan, but I like that they...
I used to be, but not really so much anymore.
I never was. But I really thought, it was more for like humor. I like the dichotomy of watching her just like attack somebody. And at the end of it, you hearing Al Roker with a happy voice saying, hey, please subscribe to our channel.
Oh my goodness. Did you know? Did you hear that Al Roker had to be taken to the hospital?
He had what was it? Prostate cancer, right? Or was this more recent?
This is recently.
Really?
I don't remember what it was for, but he was pretty sick. I think he's gonna survive though.
He seems like a nice guy.
He seems like a nice guy. I remember watching this cartoon. I think it might have been. I think I might have been watching a cartoon with my nieces or something.
Okay.
And Al Roker was a guest on the cartoon. Is like, Al Roker, you're Al Roker. And yeah, Al Roker actually seems like a nice guy that does the weather.
Have you seen the movie Undercover Brother?
No,
it's not the best movie.
No, I didn't see it. No,
there are like 3 scenes of it that crack me up though.
What?
And one of the scenes, it's like Eddie Griffith is going to come into like the white community and try to pretend like he's a white guy. I saw it like way back in the day when it first came out. And the scientist is yelling at him and he's like, damn it, man. If you join the white community, you're going to have to learn how to like mayonnaise.
I remember that one.
As you know, I hate mayonnaise. And he's like, listen, you have a watch. Just push something on the watch and it'll liberally spray some barbecue sauce on your sandwich. The other secret about me is I am a huge, huge, huge fan of barbecue sauce on sandwiches.
I like barbecue sauce, yeah.
When I heard that line, I cracked up because I hate mayonnaise and I love barbecue sauce.
And I like them both, actually.
And I hate mayonnaise. And then there's another scene where they're like, Jay-Z is doing Lawrence Welk's greatest hits because this virus had like infected the black community. And then there was another scene where this girl comes down and she meets a scientist and she's like, you know, you remind me of Al Roker. And he's like, and now let's see what's going on in your neck of the woods.
That's definitely something he would say.
Yeah.
No, he seems like a really nice guy.
He does.
I remember one time he was on a show and I think he was doing a recipe for sugar cookies. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But I think he came out with a cookbook.
He might have.
Yeah, he actually seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I'm sure like any of us, he has his moments where he could be cross to somebody. And you know, but I think overall he's probably a genuine dude. Now, listen, I thought Matt Lauer seemed like a nice guy, so what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, what if there's a scandal brewing on Al Roker? But I haven't heard anything, so.
Yeah, he said in interviews that his biggest vice is food. And also, you would think that if Al Roker was guilty of sexually harassing a bunch of women, it probably would have come out by now.
I do remember him talking about that, trying to eat a little bit better and things like that. But he seems like a pretty average guy that does the weather.
Yeah, and he was caught up in that whole Megan Kelly thing. It wasn't his fault that they hired her. So I'm going to ask you something like you know the answer, but you might not. Mm-hmm. What was Al Roker's take on the whole Matt Lauer thing? I mean, I'm assuming you said it was horrible. But
no idea. I don't know. Uh-oh. I mean, I'm sure that there are people on NBC that knew about this and they were wondering why nobody did anything about it.
Yeah, like Al Roker could have known about it, right?
The NBC execs did not do anything about it. I'm sure. I'm sure that there's a lot of people and they were just I'm sure they're disappointed that nobody did anything about it.
Well, I mean, I remember when the stuff with Harvey Weinstein came out, and my sister's like, it's very odd that all these women who were dying to be in his movies and who talked about Harvey Weinstein when they won these Oscars are now bad mouthing Harvey Weinstein.
It
Like
is
it does,
kinda odd.
and that doesn't make him a good guy, but it does sort of show the hypocrisy in a lot of these actors and actresses.
Right, and they're the same actresses and actors that will say that, oh, we're champions for women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or they'll be in a Woody Allen movie,
right?
And then say, "Oh, I was Me Too, too.
Exactly,
Me Too."
exactly. And yet they're so quick to come after people that should not have been Me Too'd.
Yeah,
like Louis C.K. Even though I'm not a big fan of him.
I love Louis C.K.'s humor. Not all of it. I some of his stuff is overrated, but I do think he's a funny guy.
But I mean, if he said that it was consensual between him and the woman, and it wasn't like they were in the same room.
It was like phone sex.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And poor Garrison Keillor touching a woman's back, and then he reached out and said, "I'm really sorry that happened. It was her back. It wasn't like it was her butt or anything."
Yeah.
And
Tony Robbins.
and Garrison Keillor was retiring at the time, and Tony Robbins didn't do anything to any woman.
Tony Robbins wasn't accused of sexually harassing any woman, and he was caught up in the Me Too movement to try to cancel him.
But when you explained his point,
yeah,
I totally agree. There are women that would say that to get attention.
Exactly.
So it isn't just the men who do that. It's also the women who do that to frame men.
But it's also true that yes, there are women who will say that to get attention, and there are legitimate women who have a legitimate complaint.
But but the women that are saying that to get men's attention are making the legitimate women look really bad too.
Yeah. And regardless of what you think about Joe Biden, he did kind of end the Me Too movement.
Yeah, but I think that the Tara Reid story is going to come out, because I heard an interview with her, and in 2020 she was being censored on Twitter.
Yes, she was.
But I think that's going to come out too.
Well, she was being censored on iTunes too, or her mom was, because apparently this is what I heard. They had like the Larry King show where you could buy episodes on iTunes. And one episode that was cut out was one where her mom called up to the show.
Oh yeah, I've heard clips of that. I've heard several clips of it. And that was and it was confirmed that actually was her mom.
Yeah.
That was calling on the Larry King show, and I'm glad that people are able to find it.
But that episode was missing from the iTunes version of Larry King, so you couldn't buy it.
Right. So it's just very strange, like, why, if this actually happened to the woman, to Tara Reid, why would anybody want to censor that? Wouldn't people want to get to the bottom of it?
Yeah, especially people who are like super lib. And the reason, we know the reason why, because big money wanted somebody like Joe Biden over Bernie Sanders in the White House.
Yeah, I'm hearing more and more that you're right about that.
Yeah.
But I believe that her story is going to come out now.
And do I know if her claims are true? I don't know. But she should at least, I mean, if we're going to let people accuse Tony Robbins of have a say, this lady should have a say too. And we should at least hear her story.
But she said that she tried to notify people and say, hey, notify Twitter and say, hey, this is really what happened to me, and I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, and we wouldn't dismiss any other woman who accused a man of a sexual harassment. I mean, at least not in the liberal community, right? Like, if we're going to be good libs, which I consider myself a good lib, if a woman accused any other man who's prominent of sexual harassment, we would want to hear that woman out. So it's really frustrating to me that as good libs, we're not allowed to hear Tara Reid out.
Well, and I mean, if it were like, and I'm not a fan of Gloria Allred because she's jumped on a lot on bandwagons. Like, where is Gloria Allred? Because she fights these kinds of cases.
Yeah, or Gloria Steinem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
You know, where are they when this woman needed help? And this was back in 1993 when she was still a young intern.
Yeah, it's complicated stuff.
But it's, I mean, she's been trying to get her story out there. I think it is going to be out there because I heard an interview with her recently.
And that doesn't negate any of the good stuff that Joe Biden has done, if you can find it. But it's just to say, hey, let's hear this out. If we're going to hear other things out, let's hear her side of the story and then decide. But
I am, though, glad that Harvey Weinstein is going to is being brought to justice now, even though it took years and years and years.
I am too.
I am also glad that R. Kelly was brought to justice because he's going to be in there for a while.
By the way, you know what I heard?
What?
And this might be an internet rumor that like one of his girlfriends that he met in prison is either pregnant or just gave birth to a kid.
Oh,
like within the
man.
last week it came out.
He just can't get away from it.
Apparently not.
He just can't keep it in his pants.
Yeah, I was never a big R. Kelly fan. I was a huge Harvey Weinstein fan before I knew better.
I like his songs. I like some of it. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan, but there are songs that I did enjoy. But I'm thinking, if you're going to put yourself out there, it's not a good thing to have a tape swirling around with you and a minor. And it's not a good thing to marry someone who is a minor.
15 and
at
pregnant.
15 and then everybody dismisses it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And the people, and I'm talking about the people that was around.
Yeah.
The people that were around him knew what was going on, and I think there were women that were trying to get the story out and say, hey, this is going on. Why is nobody doing anything about it?
And people would just not listen.
Uh-huh.
But it was known, I think, before Aaliyah died, that she had married him.
Oh, yes, it was. It was.
And he wasn't canceled. And granted, it was a different time, too. But still, that didn't ruin his career.
Well, and we don't know what happened because he claims that Aaliyah was pregnant. We don't know if she lost the baby. We don't know if the baby was given up for adoption. And then years later, at this point, she's moved on from him.
Yeah, and then she dies tragically.
She dies tragically. And after she died tragically, I mean, wouldn't somebody want to do more investigation into R. Kelly's relationship with her and other women?
You think so?
Young women?
And then it gets really weird because Dame Dash, who was engaged to Aaliyah when she died, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
he worked with R. Kelly. Because he
still worked with R. Kelly.
Because Jay-Z did the Best of Both Worlds albums, which, you know, Dame Dash was at that time Jay-Z's business partner. So they worked together. That's super weird to me.
Was Dame his nickname?
Yeah, for Damon.
Okay.
That she's didn't you tell me that he's the brother of your girl Stacey Dash?
Yes,
the conservative chick from Clueless.
Yes, he is. But yeah, I think it's crazy that he would still end up working with R. Kelly when most likely he knows what happened between him and Aaliyah. I'm sure he would have some idea if he was engaged to Aaliyah when she died. But in the documentary, I think it was the first part of it, there was a witness who actually saw Aaliyah come out of the room with R. Kelly after they got married, and he said that she looked really, really scared. Yeah, I can't watch that documentary. It's so hard. The first part of it, I could only watch a little bit. I couldn't watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. The second part of it wasn't as bad, but it was still bad. And towards the end of it, this family was looking for one of the girls that he had in his house. And they were able to find her, but they really think that he brainwashed her. That's crazy stuff. And the crazy thing about these incidences with the young girls that were going on, these women were coming out and saying that his house had like a lot of beds in each of the rooms. His studio had beds, and you probably understand why. Yeah, they have beds. I'm like, why would you put that in your studio? And then, a lot of the women didn't know that he was married. Yeah, and it's because here's the weird thing. It was known about R. Kelly, and musicians still worked with him. Like Jay-Z, I mean, okay, we didn't know all the details, but it was known that he had married an underage Aaliyah when R. Kelly was in his late 20s, when Jay-Z did the Best of Both Worlds album with him, right? Mm-hmm. And here's where I'm conflicted about some stuff. Mm-hmm.
as an audience member, I have no problem watching a film by somebody who did something deplorable. Like, Mel Gibson is a horrible human being. He's anti Semitic. He, from what we can tell, probably beats women.
Mm-hmm.
And that is horrible, disgusting, reprehensible behavior. But he has made some great movies.
Uh-huh.
And I can separate the artist from the art.
I can too.
But it gets complicated when you think of, okay, yeah, but let's say that Jim Carrey came out tomorrow and he said, well, Mel Gibson's a great director and I'm going to have him direct my next movie. Would that affect the way you looked at Jim Carrey? Because he's willing to work with somebody who's such an asshole, for lack of a better term.
I don't know. I would question his choices of who he works with. I don't know if I'd look at him as a bad person. I would just look at him as a person who made a very stupid decision.
Yeah, but then there's the thing of there's so many people who work on a movie and people are such complicated that pretty much every film you see has people who worked on it who are horrible human beings. So I don't know. I don't know where I fall with that stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say.
I know that Woody Allen apparently was going to write a memoir of his life, but some people at the, almost a record company, but at the publishing company were upset because of his past behavior that they put the kibosh on the book, which is unfortunate because I'd love to read a book about the making of his classic
I don't
films.
understand why would they put the kibosh on it? Why couldn't they just let him write it?
Because this was like when Me Too was at its height and whatnot.
Oh, well that's it. I think people should know. I think people should know whether they like Woody Allen or not.
Yeah, he has a lot of fans, and they should have the right to buy his book. That's my take on it.
Well, it's just like Mel Gibson. If he wants to make a memoir of his life, why not have him write a book?
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't mean that if you read the book, you're a horrible person, or that you don't take some things with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But it means that the person should be allowed to speak. And I'd be interested in hearing Mel Gibson, reading a Mel Gibson book. And the person I feel most sorry for in all the Mel Gibson stuff, and we've talked about this, is Danny Glover. Because Danny Glover seems like a really cool dude.
He does, yeah.
He's a great actor. He's done plenty of stuff without Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
And now every time he gets interviewed, this is my assumption. It's like, well, what's going on with Mel Gibson? Or how can you be friends with him when he says all these horrible things? You know.
Well, maybe he's torn too. Like he separates the friendship from what he's done, and it's like it doesn't have anything to do with their friendship. And maybe Danny Glover doesn't, maybe he just says politely, I really don't want to discuss it.
Yeah, and I we've said this before. Do I think that Mel Gibson and Danny Glover hang out every single day? No. But I could see where they would be professionally friends in real life, and they've been to each other's homes, and they know each other's families, so it probably is very hard for him to separate those things.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's interesting stuff there.
Jaylo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Meanwhile,
yeah,
I've been reading about Paul Newman. He's way cooler than I thought he was.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So Paul Newman, I didn't know this, was a weed smoker.
That's nice.
Yeah,
yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
But not here, though.
No.
And my little Jaylo has never had a hit from a joint. So you wouldn't know this, but I thought that was super cool.
Of course you would.
And he smoked weed with his son. I thought that was cool.
Bad behaving boy.
I don't know.
No, you are.
Why am I bad behaving?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Because you did before.
Well, that makes me the good boy.
Yeah, bad behaving.
I am the good boy, and we all know that.
Bad behaving.
No.
Boy.
And then you might want to plug your ears for this.
Oh,
you don't have to, but I want to give
you. Let me just say it this way.
Okay.
There was a room that they had sex in.
And not only, okay, so we're talking about Paul Newman and his wife, Joanne.
It was strictly for sex.
It was strictly for sex. And It wasn't like Paul Newman said, "Hey, babes, this is going to be our sex room, and I'm
was
so
his
macho,
wife.
you're going to deal with it." In the book, at least from his perspective, he comes home one day and she takes him into this room that she decorated. And Jaylo, plug your ears.
Buzz, I already know what you're gonna
Okay.
say. I'm gonna phrase it this way. It sounded like it was a surprise thing.
Yes.
And what color did she decorate it?
I forget, but she christened the room. She named it. I'm going to say the name. The fuck hut. What? I told you I was going to do it.
I know.
I know.
Yeah, I know, Buzz. I've heard you say the F word many times.
Oh, you have? Oh, what? You love that about me.
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, that's one of the things that really irritates me, but it's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You already knew that.
Oh. It irritates me that it irritates you, so maybe you should just stop letting it get to you. Ouch, ouch. Okay, you squeeze my cheek.
I know. But anyway, I thought that was kind of weird. But you don't remember what they decorated, and it was strictly used for that purpose.
Strictly used for sex and like drinking and smoking before sex. And
it's a little bit strange.
It's a little bit strange, but that seems really cool. In the book, it's implied that she really opened him up sexually. Like she was very experimental. They'd have sex like everywhere. So in that sense, the book is honest, right? Because I don't think that's something you'd lie about. He was cheating on Joanne Woodworth when he was married to his first wife.
No, you said he was he was cheating on his first
I'm sorry,
wife
he was cheating on
Joanne Woodward.
I'm dyslexic. Yes, that's what I meant to say. And I love that part of the book.
You do?
Well, no, because it's honest, right?
Oh.
Because if you're a movie star, you're not... I mean, the book also came out like 15 years after he died, but she's still alive. And you usually wouldn't say something like that in the book. You'd make it seem like, we met before I got divorced, but we were just friends. And like 2 weeks after my wife left me, because I was a workaholic, Joanne gave me a call and we started slowly seeing each other. That's the way you would think it would be in a book that was authorized by him, but that's not how it is in this book.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool to read about. He was talking about how... So Paul Newman is pretty lib.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And he went to campaign for Lyndon Johnson in 1964 when Johnson was running against Barry Goldwater. Barry Goldwater wanted to escalate into Vietnam. Johnson did, but he didn't say that publicly yet. And so Paul Newman would go around the country making all these speeches about how, Johnson doesn't want to expand into Vietnam. No, it was either that or the DNC that year. He's like, Johnson is not going to expand into Vietnam. He doesn't want to do that. And then Johnson did it. And it said that Paul Newman really, really, really regretted campaigning for Johnson.
Oh, really?
I think in 1968 he campaigned for McCarthy. I forgot who the guy was.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, and because that guy wanted to get us out of Vietnam, and then that guy dropped out like a month after Bobby Kennedy was shot.
Oh.
And Paul Newman was scheduled to give a speech in front of like this group of black people that night, and they were asking him all these questions about civil rights, and Paul Newman just said, "Listen, we're not going to do anything on civil rights until we get out of Vietnam." He said he didn't know what else to say, which is pretty honest, I think.
Wow, so he actually campaigned for Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, but in his fairness, he regretted it, and he regretted it within a year or two of doing it.
Oh.
So it's not like he took that to his grave and was like, Lyndon Johnson, best person ever. He had genuine feelings like he shouldn't have done that pretty early on. Now, we watched the movie Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Uh-huh.
I knew that Elizabeth Taylor's husband, Mike Todd, had died in a plane crash.
And that was her second husband. Yep.
I don't know if it was her second or third. It was one of her many husbands.
Yeah, I think it was her second husband.
You might be right. But I didn't know that he passed away when she was shooting the film, and that they almost didn't release it. They almost stopped production on it.
And you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that from watching it either.
No, it was a great movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Burl Ives was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I think of Burl Ives, I think of a lot of children's things because he narrated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie, and he also wrote and sang some children's songs. He just reminds me of a singing grandpa.
Yeah.
You know.
So this book is really good. I mean, I was a fan of Paul Newman before, but I'm not like a super fan. I do like some of his movies, I should put it that way. And he seemed like a nice enough guy. And it's also talking in the book about how he would blow off people who would ask him for his autographs.
Wow.
For several different reasons. But typically his answer when somebody would ask him for an autograph, he'd just say no and walk away.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like the honesty in this book. It's at least it seems honest to me.
Is it just because he doesn't want to sign an autograph at the time, or he just doesn't want people to ask him for him?
Well, it felt like it was a mixture of both. Like he didn't want people to ask him for an autograph because he didn't like. The sense I get for the book is he felt like if he gave one person an autograph,
he has to give everybody autographs.
Exactly. And then he has to stand around pretending like he likes a person and try to connect with them on a human level. And that can be distracting. So instead he just say no.
Yeah.
Which I can respect that.
Yeah. Because if people, they're not obligated to sign autographs unless they really want to.
Exactly. And it tells a story in the book about one night he's having dinner with, I think, Joanne Woodworth and some friends. And this lady who was a big Paul Newman fan and just happens to be in the restaurant pulls up her chair to the table and tries to join the conversation.
Oh, it's so awkward.
Paul Newman looks at her and says, "Get the fuck away from this table." Which, not necessarily the tact I would take. But I can respect that.
That is a little rude, but she was rude by just taking a chair and listening in on the conversation.
Yeah, the other thing it talks about in the book was apparently Paul Newman was kind of mixed on whether or not he would have been a movie star if James Dean would have lived.
Really?
So, James Dean, died tragically. He was like 24. Apparently, like a few weeks later, he was supposed to be in a live television broadcast of a play where he plays a boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Newman was going to be in it too, but Paul Newman had a supporting role. After James Dean dies, the studio is scrambling. They have to find somebody. And they say to Paul Newman, okay, you're going to be the star of this TV production. So he goes from being a supporting actor to star. And then there's a movie out there called Somebody Out There Likes Me, which I think is another boxing thing. Mm. And James Dean was supposed to star in that. But because he died, they get Paul Newman to replace him. And so he's like, I'm pretty sure I would have been a movie star had James Dean lived. But it's not like a definitive in his mind, which is really interesting to me. So I'm enjoying the book.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel about what I just said? Or any of what
It sounds like Paul Newman is a mixture of things. Like I heard that he's charitable and with his with the proceeds from his dressings.
Yeah.
And I heard they're good too. I can understand why he wouldn't want any autographs. I don't think he should have handled the lady at the table that way, but the lady was rude though. She shouldn't have done that. She should know better. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it were me and there was a celebrity in the restaurant, I would be very, very nervous to even go up to their table or the person's table.
I think what I would do, depending on the person, is I wouldn't go up to their table, but I'd walk by it and say, big fan, and then just walk away. Mm-hmm. I'd probably pull that move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it was somebody like super, super famous. Mm-hmm. And then I'd probably just embarrass myself.
Yeah. I would be so nervous to walk up to any famous person.
Yeah.
Now, if they had meet and greets, that would be different, but it would still make me nervous. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still can't believe we met those two country singers.
And they were very nice.
From Neon, what is it?
I almost said Neon Bible. It's like Neon Union.
Yeah, they were super nice.
They were super nice.
They didn't even have to take pictures with us, but they did.
And they introduced themselves. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew and
Leo.
Leo, yeah, very nice guys.
Very nice guys. I had no idea that Leo worked for Pitbull.
And Lauryn Hill, right? Did he also say Lauryn Hill?
Might have been the Fugees.
Okay.
I think it might have been the Fugees, but anyway. And it was like he didn't have to say hello. He didn't have to take a picture, but...
And wasn't this, we're taking a picture, bye. It was like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and hi, I'm so-and-so. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And prior to them, prior to seeing them, I didn't even know who they were.
Yeah. First interracial group in country music. That's kind of messed up, though. Right? That, I mean, I'm sure there's been interracial groups that just didn't get signed to a record label or put out an album.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't have a lot of them because a lot of the country singers are white women or white men. But
Yeah.
then there's been some Mexican men, and there's been some even people from like the Midwest that are in country music, and and of course there's Charlie Pride. He was like one of the first black men.
So let's take Charlie Pride for a second, right? And let's say Johnny Cash in the 1990s does a couple albums. I think the super group is called the Highwaymen with like him, Chris Christopherson,
Willie Nelson.
Oh, is that?
Oh, it's my sister.
Oh, you're here.
I'll call her later.
Older or younger?
Twin.
Oh. But why couldn't Charlie Pride be in the Mountain Men?
The Highwaymen?
Or the Highwaymen. Oh my goodness.
I'll call her later.
Would country music, would the community have like protested their shows if that had happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't want to be in it. I mean, he was getting older.
But you know what I mean. Like I mean,
I don't know that they didn't ask Charlie Pride to be in the group.
Yeah, but that I don't know. It's just really interesting to me when I heard Neon Union say that. But what do I know, babes?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard interviews with Charlie Pride, and he never said anything disparaging about his white counterparts when he was working in country music, and I really do believe he was genuine about it. Like, he never felt discriminated in the business, and he just enjoyed music. He just enjoyed playing his music. He's
in the Ken Burns documentary.
Yeah, I've heard separate interviews with him.
Nice.
So it didn't seem to me like he had any bad things to say.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Very good there, Jaylo. Do you want to find out more about Paul Newman? I mean, I guess in a way you will. Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're gonna have to pause this.
All right. Get that phone soon before they call me. We're pausing. Babes, we are back. This is probably the first time I read a book in the middle of the podcast. Or part of it. Your sister kept calling you. You said she was just asking if you were cold?
No. She wanted to know if I was freezing, and because I told her what was going on, she said that it was colder than last year. And I told her, I said, I wonder, I don't remember if it was colder last year than this year.
Yeah.
Because we had snow and ice, and it was just coming down like in sheets. You know, the ice was coming down in sheets. And
I looked at your window. It does look like it may have snowed overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to stick too long.
No, they're saying it's not.
Yeah, which is good.
What all did y'all talk about then? Besides that?
She told me about like she got into some kind of a disagreement or argument with my mom, and I'm not going to go into.
No, it's fine. They don't listen to this. Go ahead.
No. She went back to work, and my niece is looking for thinking about applying for a job at LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my they have a dog. I call it their dog now because they've had him for a long time.
Yeah.
And my nephew likes to play rough with the dog, but then he's been getting some scratches on his face, and my sister's like, "Don't do that."
Yeah, isn't your nephew like 13 now or what?
He's 12 now.
Okay.
No, and she's telling her not to do that because their dog doesn't know.
Yeah.
because his paws are sharp too.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think it's a good idea to play rough with dogs because they could hurt you and not know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she got mad at him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the dog wasn't trying to hurt him.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Because the dog's thinking we're just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So that's why she kept calling you back.
Well, she just wanted to let me know that just wanted to let me know that it was really cool. It's probably colder in their house because both heaters in the rooms, her kids' rooms, are not working.
Oh, that sucks.
And yeah, so they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh.
And my sister's supposed to come in tonight to watch.
Oh yeah, is she going to be staying with them or somebody else?
Well, I think she's going to be staying with my cousin for a while, because my cousin's sister, my other cousin, is supposed to pick her up at the airport, and they're supposed to go down to my cousin's house.
Okay.
And then they're supposed to go and she's supposed to go and take them to Anacortes, where their mom and dad live.
Okay.
Because that's where they're going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that she doesn't get stuck there.
So does your younger sister like snow or no?
I don't know. I like it when it first falls. I mean, I can only say what I like.
Yeah.
I like it when it first falls, and if it's there for a day, I'm okay with it. But if it's like 3 inches, I can't walk in 3 inches of snow.
That's going to be hard for your sister coming from Hawaii to a place that has snow, and I've done that before.
Well,
when it was worse than here.
The flights are canceled. The flights were canceled this morning, but I don't know. I think she's coming in later. I don't know. I don't know when she's going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Oh, that sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Well, that's what's going on with them there.
Jaylo.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to say what happened with your sister and your mom here?
No.
Okay. I thought I didn't.
That's a private conversation.
I know. I had to ask.
Look, I know you're open about everything except for the doctors.
Yeah.
But which I think is like the weirdest thing ever.
Oh my goodness. But enough about me, but you're not as open as I am on some things.
No.
That's fair. All right, give me a kiss.
No.
Why not? What
What
did I do?
What?
What did I do to not get a kiss?
Because you're prying, boy.
No, I'm a curious boy.
In other words, you're
curious
prying,
boy. I'm
boy.
curious boy. Give me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, babes. I love you.
I love you.
I love you. So,
Yeah.
I was reading more of the Paul Newman book.
Uh-huh.
I learned that, there was a long period of time where he didn't talk to his mom. She sounds like a complete nut job.
Mm.
His dad was a successful businessman.
Yeah.
He owned a couple stores and whatnot, and they survived the Depression. And at one point in like the late 40s, early 50s, before he dies, I think he died in 1950.
The dad.
Yeah. The dad tells Paul Newman and Newman's older brother, hey, I'm leaving everything to your mom. You guys aren't getting anything from us.
Wow.
Yeah. But,
really?
Yeah. So the mom doesn't believe that the dad is going to leave her anything. She's convinced that the husband has like a mistress and that everything's going to the mistress, to the point where the dude is on his deathbed and Paul Newman's mom is yelling at him, you got to put me in your will. I can't believe you're going to leave me all alone with nothing. Then he dies.
Yeah.
The mom gets everything. Just
Wow.
like was predicted.
Wow.
And they have a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Newman and his mom don't talk for something like 10 years.
Wow.
And this is when he's starting to become, a big actor.
Really famous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He would keep track of her through his brother.
Mm-hmm.
But they were never really that close. And then...
Him and the brother.
Well, no, Paul Newman was close as his brother, but not his mom.
Okay.
And like Joanne Woodworth apparently said that she never asked about the grandkids. But one time after they were reconciled, they go over to her place and there's pictures of them all over the walls.
Wow.
So it's a very contentious relationship.
That sounds interesting. Like she didn't want anything to do with Paul until he got famous.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And whether that was true, we don't know.
Because you got to understand something. This lady was really into living the high life, apparently.
Yeah.
And she was also good with investing. So she was like a multimillionaire.
Right.
But Paul Newman still had to like take care of her, like get her money. Because she was just always convinced she was going to go broke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if she was a good investor, I don't know how she would go broke.
She was kind of mentally out there, too. That was the sense I got from it.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I was reading there. Jaylo?
So Paul Newman's mom was married to his dad until he died, though.
Yeah, but she had a husband before she hooked up with Mr. Newman, who was this crazy dude. I guess he used to beat her and whatnot, and that's how she was able to get the divorce, because it was like the 19-teens, and she goes in to see the judge with like a black eye.
Uh-oh.
And the judge grants her a divorce and everything she wanted, which was very uncommon for women back then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you want to read more about Mr. Newman or find out about him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Sounds like he's lived a crazy life.
Yeah. And then he died.
And then he died.
And his wife is still alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
His wife is still alive.
Yeah. That's a good wife to come up with a room like that.
Bubs,
What?
even you would say that wasn't for you, though.
No, but I'm saying it's nice that she was so considerate and would think of something that they could do as a couple.
I guess.
You know, that's kind of nice.
I mean, it is their private home. It's not like they're sharing it with anybody either.
Yeah. I don't think that they took, friends into that room and said, "This is the fuck up." But what do I know?
Yeah.
And apparently they were friends with Gore Vidal, who was a famous writer. There's that documentary I don't think we've watched called The Best of Enemies. And it's about the Gore Vidal Buckley debates with William F. Buckley.
I'm not familiar with them, yeah.
I saw it separately. I thought it was okay. It's worth watching. I liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
But what do I know, babes?
I don't know.
How are you feeling after that conversation?
I was okay. I mean, I wasn't. When I started talking, I didn't feel like I wasn't annoyed or anything, because she didn't ask me. She didn't ask me if anybody was with me, and I told her, I said, and I assured her that I had, it's okay. I have things in the freezer. I've got a lot of water. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I think as long as she knew that. And then I told her that about my classes a little bit, and I said I really wanted to come to see you guys for New Year's, but my classes are going to start on the week of the 5th. And she's like, oh, wow. Yep. Okay. And so she wasn't, and then she was a little bit concerned about how my sister was going to get, when she was going to come in. Yeah.
Crazy stuff, babes.
Yeah.
But I still love you.
Okay.
Yes.
What else?
What else, babes? What
I love you.
We made dinner last night.
We did. It was, well, we did something simple. We decided to make some pepperoni pizza. And before that, we made some peanut butter chocolate chip M&M cookies, which, by the way, came out very good.
And we still have enough dough to do 1 or 2 more batches.
But very crumbly.
Yeah.
I think we might have to put a little bit more flour.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Yeah, because they were holding, but if you weren't careful, they were going to collapse on you. And they did. But very good cookies, I would say.
Yes. We were listening to J to Z Christmas special.
That was good.
And then Take the Floor.
And then we were listening to Take the Floor.
And we agreed that tonight, if we make dinner, instead of just, deciding to go to sleep hungry, what we're going to do is listen to Craig Childs, whatever his name is, Best of Funk and Soul of this year on BBC Radio 6 was.
Yes.
Yes. So it's good stuff there.
Is it Craig Charles?
Craig Charles is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I am with names.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
bad. I think you said Childs. It's Charles. Yes.
We also watched some movies.
We certainly did. I think I'd like a gander at explaining Gone Girl.
Okay. I mean, I've seen it twice and I've read the book.
Yeah.
So I thought I would take that new little fox. But if you want to take that, I guess you're thinking that.
I'm not gonna give an entire synopsis because there's a lot of stuff that went on in the movie, but it's the premise is there's a woman who's missing. Her name is Amy Dunn. She's a writer. Her husband is Nick Dunn. He comes home. He's played by Ben Affleck. He comes home and notices that the coffee table is toppled over, and so is the ottoman. And so there are some things in disarray, and they also find blood on the kitchen floor. And then he doesn't understand what's going on because that day was supposed to be their anniversary on July the 5th, correct?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And she's nowhere to be found, and his worst fear is that she's dead. So they don't know where she is. Two detectives are trying to investigate him and where he was, and this one lady named Noelle Hawthorne claimed to be her best friend, saying that she had some information. She seemed like a nut job, though.
Yes.
She seemed like a nut job and probably not the smartest person. And there were all these things, and there was a show named Ellen Abbott that is kind of like one of those
like Nancy Grace type series.
Well, yeah, it was like a Nancy Grace thing, but it wasn't. But she was kind of a gossiper too. Ellen Abbott was. Yeah. And
wasn't that? I mean, I never watched her shows. Wasn't she in the gossip as well, or no?
No. This is like a court show. No,
okay.
She used to be a prosecutor at one time.
Gotcha.
And she would talk about legal cases.
Nice.
and kids that were missing too. So this was kind of like a Nancy Grace type of a show, except Ellen Abbott was more of like a it seemed more like a tabloid show.
It's like
he said, she said.
It's like American Psychos or American Maniacs if it was hosted by a woman.
American Journal?
No, American Maniacs if it was hosted by a woman and they just focus on interviews.
Yeah. So
you know American Maniacs, right?
I've never seen Natural Born Killers, Bub.
Okay.
You told me about American Maniacs.
But Mickey and Mallory always leave a survivor. We are. The camera, silly. All right, keep going, Moose. Wayne Gale.
And he has a British accent, right?
He has like an Australian accent. He's loosely based on Steve Dunleavy, who worked for Hard Copy in the 90s.
Okay, I don't remember him.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the story. So and they're all trying to find the stuff out. Margot is his twin sister that he moves in with temporarily. She finds out things like she finds out that her brother's having an affair with a much younger woman, and it looks really bad for his case because they're gonna think, oh well, maybe he killed
Amy.
Maybe he killed Amy to get with Andy. And then there was a life insurance policy that Amy had. There was also things that were put in Amy's name and not his name. And then they found some things in their wood shed that he didn't recognize, including a gift box
that Amy had bought under his name. And it wasn't in his wood shed. It was in the sister's.
It was in Margot's wood shed. So
yeah.
they were looking. They were paying attention to the wood shed, and then you see like entries from Amy's diary that she wanted to get away from the character of Amazing Amy in the book series that her father created for her.
Yep.
I guess about her.
About her, I would say.
Amazing Amy. So, so that was interesting. And then you find out later on that she has devised a plan to get away from Nick, supposedly because he abused her. And there's a lot of things in the movie. There's a lot of twists and turns. You kind of feel like you're being gaslighted because you're thinking, is he really a crazy person? Or is she really the crazy person? And I'm not gonna say what happens later because I don't want to give it away, but I came to the conclusion that she's a crazy person, and I don't think it had a happy ending.
Yeah, I
my
was
opinion.
joking with you that they wrapped it up at the end and everybody's together and happy and alive, but that was mainly for humor and it didn't land.
Mm-mm.
Again, there's a fault with the audience.
No, it wasn't a fault with me.
She is definitely batshit crazy. And it works for this movie. It's done so well. I really, really enjoyed the way they did this film. What are you doing?
No, I have an itch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were checking your iPad.
No, I wasn't.
My
hand was where my elbow was.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
Okay.
I thought this film was really good. Ben Affleck's great in it. Everybody showed up to play. There's no bad acting in this movie.
No, especially the lady who played Amy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't familiar with her, but she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good. I mean, she plays a crazy woman very well.
And I know that you like a lot of these true crime shows.
So I mean, I don't watch it all the time, but yeah, I enjoy it once in a while.
I thought that you would enjoy this movie too. It sounds like my guess was correct.
Yes.
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 Yes. Does the book or the movie make you want to read either the book that the movie is based on or any other books by the author Gillian Flynn?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided.
The movie's very true to the book.
Which is good. I may not have to read the book then.
No, you don't necessarily have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the book, she goes into a little bit more of Amy and it's more of Amy's letters and whatnot. But
and she talks a little bit more about the character Amazing Amy.
Yeah. But, we could read other books that she's written.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The lady who played her, I thought that they picked a really good voice for Amy's diaries.
I did too.
Because she really sounded like a psycho.
Yeah. And there's that great scene at the end of the movie where they're in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Would you recommend this to your family? And if so, what would you say?
I think they would watch it. It's my family likes the action movies and crime movies too.
Nice.
I think they watch it.
Nice. Well, good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about the movie?
No.
Okay.
But it was very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we watched The Little Foxes.
The Little Foxes.
The Little Foxes with your girl Betty Davis.
She's not my girl, Bubs.
Okay.
I don't know this lady. She sounds like a crazy lady. But
yeah, I mean,
good movies.
She makes some good films. Basically, it's set in the South. There's slaves, and there's corruption in this family. A couple of brothers want to go into business.
Ben and Oscar.
Yep. They tell Betty Davis this, and they're like, your husband, we know he's out of town, but if we could have some money to invest, we'll give you some great returns on this. And she's like she's a matriarch. She's Betty Davis. She's
my goodness.
All right, yeah, I want to do this deal, bros. She sends her daughter
Alexandra
to get the husband. They come back a day late. We find out that the husband, whose name is Horace, is dying.
Yeah, Horace.
And
Horace or Horace, I can't remember.
Okay, Horace hears about this deal, doesn't want to take it just to spite his wife. And Betty Davis is upset about this. Now, meanwhile, they have a nephew, Leo, who has looked into Horace's safe deposit box at the bank.
And also Oscar is planning to get Alexandra to marry her own cousin.
Yeah, Leo.
Which is really weird.
Okay. So Leo tells his dad, Oscar, listen, Horace never checks his safe deposit box. He has tons of bonds in there. I bet we can take some of those.
And you wouldn't even know that.
Invest in the business, and then like in 3 months, put some more bonds back.
Right.
Okay. They decide that they're going to do this. They're going to steal money or bonds. And then Horace goes down to the bank, finds out that the money's missing, and says to himself, you know what? I'm going to give that to them as a loan that they can pay back, but I don't want to invest in this company because it's going to help my wife out. Tells the wife this, and he's like, this is all the money you're going to get, and there's nothing you can do about it. Then he starts having a heart attack, and Betty Davis, This is why, and I mean this in the best way possible, she is a badass bitch in this movie. She just sits there as her husband is dying of this heart attack, and it's great. It's that I love that scene because he's just like, get some help me.
Yeah, because he's trying to get Addie to help. I feel bad for the guy because
I didn't.
Why?
I didn't, because he tried to screw his wife out of this money.
But she was corrupt, Bubs.
And you thought that he wasn't?
Well, it sounded to me like he wanted to get out of it. He didn't want anything to do with it.
But
okay, go on
Okay.
Go on with the movie.
And go on with your movie. All right, so all right, give me a kiss. Okay, so she waits, and her name is Regina. Waits until her husband is unconscious, then gets help. He's dying. The brothers come over. By now, she's learned about the deception. She says to the brothers, okay, Horace told me that you guys took the money out of the safe deposit box. I want 75% of this company, or else I'm taking this to trial. And since you guys have screwed over so many people in this state, I'm sure that they're going to convict you. Eventually, they submit to her will. She gets the majority of this company. They leave. And the daughter is basically like, I don't want to get corrupted by you, Mom. And she leaves your girl, Betty Davis. And Betty Davis is watching her walk away, meet up with some guy who I'm assuming is David.
And then they leave.
This other dude that she was attracted to. And then the movie ends.
I think it was David.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay, Betty Davis is bad. But I don't think that she's any worse than any of the other main characters in this movie.
Well, I mean, think about
the white ones, at least.
The brothers?
Well, like, she's no worse than her brothers, and I don't think she's any worse than Horace. And I honestly don't get why Horace didn't want her to profit off of this business.
I think, this is my own opinion, I personally don't think that Horace really wanted a part of it to begin with, and I also didn't think that it seemed to me like Horace and him were having marital problems anyway.
Horace and her.
Or Horace and her, rather.
Yeah.
Horace and her were having marital problems anyway, but I also don't think that he wanted to be corrupted by her any more than he was trying to stay out of it, because the daughter was going to get involved, was going to be involved in this, not by her own choice. And the mom wanted to take Alexandra to Chicago with her, but it wasn't for Alexandra. It was for, it was only to benefit Regina. Because remember when she said, I'm going to take Alexandra to Chicago, I'm going to introduce her to the right men, and I'm going to get what I want.
Great.
I mean, it's basically what it is.
But at the same time, yes, she's doing it for herself, but that doesn't mean that Alexandria can't use this as an opportunity to benefit by marrying up in life, by learning certain things, becoming more cultured. And she has it as an opportunity as well.
And you find out things from Aunt Bertie, because, you know, it sounded to me like Aunt Bertie is very different than...
maybe a little bit special.
Maybe a little bit special, but it seemed like she wanted to be different than what they grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to be different than the brothers. Not the brothers, but she wanted to be different than how Regina was.
Yeah, Aunt Bertie married into the family because Oscar wanted some more of that cotton money. And Aunt Bertie came from
a poor family.
Well, from a successful family.
They're in the successful family.
Yeah.
So that's why they ended up together.
But I'm still having trouble with Horace because, okay, you don't want Betty Davis to get corrupted, so she only gets the $75,000 back. But that means that the brothers who are already evil now just have a lot more money to be evil with because of you. So at least if Betty Davis gets a portion of that money, that's less money that the brothers have to do horrible things with.
I don't think Horace wanted her to get any money, to tell you the
He
truth.
didn't. But this is like the best he could do, is to just have her have the 75 grand and not get anything
But I think
else.
he wanted to teach her a lesson because it seemed like she grew up corrupt, and the brothers, especially Oscar, wanted to corrupt Leo and Alexandra.
But who married this corrupt lady? Horace did.
Yeah, but I think he wanted out of it. It sounded to me like he never wanted a part of it.
Yeah, this is where we disagree a little bit. I just think
I don't see any ill will from Horace. I just don't see it.
I just think he was a dick who didn't want his wife to have success after he died.
And she wasn't horrible. She didn't want anybody to have any money. She wanted the money all to herself.
But you got to remember, she's also fighting for her own. She's a woman having to fight the patriarchy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I disagree with you. I think she's a total villain. I don't think Horace is a villain at all.
And her brothers went so far to steal from her in the movie, and her dying husband.
Yeah, but she didn't care about Horace. She never cared about Horace. I think she's a villain in this movie.
I don't know if I agree.
No, I do. I think she's crazy.
I know. Having said that, I think most people would side with you.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I
really do not understand your logic in this case.
Wow.
I really don't. This is the one time where I actually disagree entirely with your logic.
Wow.
When it comes to movies.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion. Now, is she the best character in the movie? No, but I don't think that she's any worse than her brothers.
No, she's leading out in this whole thing. I believe she's leading out on this whole thing. And yes, the brothers were evil, but I think she's the one that really wanted to amp it up.
Oh. Well, I still love you, babes. And it's good to watch movies.
I still love you. I love you.
Oh, good. It's so good to watch movies that make us question ourselves like this. You know.
No, I personally think she is the complete and total villain in this entire movie.
I love the scene where Horace is having the heart attack and she's just sitting there expressionless and just watching him slowly die and not doing anything to help him.
Well, and she never answered Alexandra because she's like, she asked her what was Papa doing at the bottom of the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, why didn't you do anything about it? Why did you just leave him there? And it sounded like, Alexandra was, she treated her daughter like she didn't know anything.
I know.
Right? Like she was, and I don't know how old Alexandra was supposed to be.
I'm guessing like 16 or 17.
Yeah, but she was old enough to figure it out. And her daughter was a lot smarter than she gave her credit for.
Okay, yes. And even in today, we'll see that with parents, where they'll treat their kids like they don't know anything and that they need to be told what to do. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it is, but it isn't, because you also have to remember the time that this is based in.
Well, if the parent was actually a good parent, and it sounded like maybe Regina wanted to be a good parent, but she was doing it the wrong way.
Okay, Regina made sure that her daughter didn't starve.
No.
That her daughter had access to certain things, like education, I'm assuming, like the finer things in life. So, and again, I don't think Regina is like the patron saint of movies, but I don't think that she's any worse than any of the male leads in this film. But we can agree to disagree.
Yes.
Yes. I like
because remember, Horace had this assumption that, since he was in that nursing home, that that maybe Regina didn't want him to come back home.
Yeah. And she didn't until she found out about the money, about this business opportunity.
See, she doesn't care about anybody except for the money that she... What?
Oh my goodness. Who is that?
It's my mom.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna call her later.
Oh, that's probably about the arguments you had with your sister, right?
I don't know. She can wait.
Oh yeah, she can wait, babes. She can wait. Well, I still love you, babes. I would give this movie a strong 7 or a weak 8. What about you?
I think I give it a weak 8 because there's just some things that, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Gone Girl.
Yeah, that's fair. I felt the same way, but it was really good though.
There were strong things I was questioning about it, but it was still very good.
I remember reading somewhere that Betty Davis had an abortion during the making of the film.
Oh, no wonder why she was mean.
Oh my goodness. Well, good.
Well, not only did she watch her movie husband die, but she also knew her baby died too. So no wonder why she was mean in the movie. That was therapy.
Oh, I heard that baby would have been no good. That was a no good baby. What?
It'll be in Washco.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to love my Jaylo. I owe the Wasco Jaylo. Well, I think you need a snack for one thing.
I actually do.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assumption.
So we can wrap this up soon. I guess what I would ask you is, would you recommend that when you talk to your mom today? Are you going to recommend this movie? If so, what will you say?
I'm not going to say anything. I think she'd watch it. What?
No, I'm that's the way he said that.
No, I'm not. I don't think I have to say. I don't think it really is hard for me to. I never had to sell a movie to anybody in my family. Is what I'm trying to say.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, because if they want to watch it, they'll watch it.
Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
We had some issues falling to sleep last night because of the rain and ice and.
Oh yeah, that was just. I mean,
wind.
and sometimes it sounded like thunder was coming down, but it was actually the mixture of wind, and it was a mixture of the rain, and then every time it hit the ground, it would freeze.
But when I was asleep, I was out.
Me too. I didn't get up until close to 7:30.
Yes, I got up around 5:45. Fell asleep around 12, so it was good.
Yeah, good.
Yes. All right, babe. So we wrap this up. Get you a snack.
Get you a snack.
Yeah, me a snack, and you can watch me the snack.
No, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat some too, Bubba.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, good.
So we wrap it up.
Oh my goodness.
Should we?
Yes.
You want to give me a kiss first?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Why?
No,
Oh my goodness. Give me a kiss.
Oh my good. What?
No, nothing, babes.
Oh, good.
Were you about to say something else?
No. I was just gonna say I haven't heard anything yet as far as when it's supposed to come.
Yeah, I remember when we got up this morning, I'm like, babes, you want to place that order now? And you're like, no, let's wait a little while. But we have backups.
We do.
What's that line in that Biggie song? I know it's not apples to oranges or apples to apples, but he's like, got lawyers watching lawyers so I don't go broke. And we have backups for our backup.
Backups for a backup.
Yes. But we'll see what happens.
Yes.
All right, babes.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.